Well, folks, I do not know what to think anymore. I just saw one of the wildest Roger Federer matches I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot, as he outlasted Dominic Kepfer in 4 super tight sets with no crowd there at the French Open night match. Absolutely crazy scene. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Italian problem that the big three are going to face in the 4th round. All big three players are playing Italian players, and I'm sure it's going to be the same headline as every other news source out there. But we're going to get into those matchups and look at some other really spicy matchups in the 4th round as the tournament usually starts to pick up at this time, and this year's Roland Garros is no exception. This is The Slice presented by Rally Tennis, covering the action. Let's get into it. Oh my goodness, folks. It's only 4:30 p.m. here, but I feel like it's past midnight because we just watched Roger Federer and Dominic Kepfer do battle way past midnight Paris time in this crazy night match setup they got going. So that was epic. We're going to get down to what Federer did. How did he come back? How did he not? I thought he was done and dusted. Like, I thought his gas tank was out, but it wasn't. So he pulled it back. That's what the GOATs do. The Slice during Roland Garros 2021 is presented by Rally Tennis, which is the best app to find tennis partners. Join local leagues in your area to find new players to play with. Practice your skills. Get cool discounts on merch and tennis equipment that you're already buying, stuff like that. You're going to download the app. The link is below. And then you're going to join the leagues that are starting middle of June. And you can already get situated, find players in your area, etc. The app launches very soon. Thank you for supporting the show. Rally Tennis. Get 10% off of brand new tennis gear at Courtside Sports. And Bear Mountain is our home club on the clay. Speaking of the clay, Roger Federer has not had his most amount of success on the clay. And tonight looked like one of those matches where it was just not meant to be. Dominic Kepfer came out playing very well. His backhand cross court is oh so sweet. He was crushing it. Federer wasn't looking as good. Everyone's talking about the conditions. At night, they're obviously going to be slower, cooler, and it was very late start. It starts like 9 p.m. Paris time, which is pretty crazy. You know, in tennis terms, Federer's an old man, so old people usually wake up earlier, so he's got a long time to wait throughout the day, and I don't think he had his maximal energy in this match. So going through it, he won the first set tiebreak, and then he was up in the second set and then let it slip, and then all of a sudden the gas tank just emptied. Dominic Kepfer seemed to be running away with the match in the third set. Federer, and then he kind of just played it like he kind of let Federer back into it. Federer upped his game a tiny bit, and then Federer gets to the tiebreaker and he wins. Which was crazy. Dominic Kepfer spits on the line after being told not to spit because of COVID, so he gets a point penalty. Wild scenes. And then Federer ends up pulling it out just based on pure skill, experience, etc. Kind of heartbreaking for Dominic Kepfer, but he played a great match. He did play super well. Federer could have easily lost this a million ways. I'm sure he said it. He's impressed right now, or he's probably trying to fall asleep right now and get some recovery. But that was absolutely wild. Federer did not have the legs there. I think the match versus Cilic he was still feeling that. Normally you feel your legs for 2 days, I find. So you can see that in his serves. He served 16 aces against Cilic, only 6 today against Kepfer, who's a shorter guy. When he got first serves in, he only won 68% of those points, which is pretty low for him on a first serve. So I think that just shows he wasn't playing as well, didn't have as much energy, and the conditions were a lot slower. So Kepfer threw everything at him. Like, he threw the first set was super tight, and Fed somehow came away with it. But like, his cross court backhand, Kepfer was just amazing. He just really like brings it back, sweeps it through. He's a really nice player. Felt bad for him today. Federer gets through though to the 4th round, which I'm sure is already a victory in his mind, just getting some match toughness, etc. And then he's getting into the Berrettini issue. So more on that. The big three are playing the 3 Italians of the future. The Italian Federation is just crushing it right now, churning out young players. Musetti and Sinner are on the top of everyone's minds. They're like the golden boys of tennis right now. So what better way to like test where they're at than against the 2 best players in the world in Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, especially at Rafael Nadal's, obviously best tournament. So just awesome opportunity for Musetti and Sinner. A challenge definitely for Djokovic and Nadal, the best players that they'll have played so far by far. So it's going to be interesting. So Djokovic, Musetti's 15 years younger than Djokovic. That's just an absurd amount of years. Like, Nadal was a pro tennis player at 15 years old. So Musetti's 15 years younger than Djokovic. And I think that'll be an advantage for Musetti if the match gets physical, for sure. Djokovic has obviously got a lot of things on Musetti, like experience, Grand Slams, a better serve, better probably in every way of the tennis in tennis. But there's definitely some things that Musetti can do to make this interesting. Like, because he has the pop and the movement to hang with Djokovic in rallies that they're obviously going to get into. And he has the power to hit winners, which Djokovic's previous opponents really haven't had. So it's going to be a lot different and interesting. It's going to be a big contrast between Djokovic's match today versus Berankis, that's for sure. I think the only way Musetti can win is if he doesn't miss a lot, if he really capitalizes when he can be aggressive, is like aggressive with restraint, so he's not missing, and he just has to get under Djokovic's skin somehow, which can happen because we saw Djokovic smash 2 rackets back in Belgrade against like challenger level players, which you didn't think he'd see. So it looks like Djokovic is peaking now, but he obviously does have the ability to lose it mentally on the court, and a guy like Musetti with all the tricks and antics he has, I could see definitely making that happen. So that could be an interesting part here. Djokovic is a heavy favorite in this matchup. But before I go into the next Nadal Sinner, I think my prediction for the big three versus the Italians is I think at least one of the big three will lose to an Italian player on Monday. Probably going to be Federer if it is, but it could be more than one. And I just think that it'll be very interesting. Nadal versus Sinner. Nadal is the 3-0 head-to-head against Sinner. And they've played all their matches in the last little while. Maybe it's only 2-0 actually. Yeah, they've played at last year's French Open and Rome just before this. So Sinner's never taken a set off Nadal, but he was actually Nadal's probably toughest challenge at last year's Roland Garros all the way through the title. So he has the ability to hurt Nadal with his power off the ground. That's for sure. We've already seen that. And Nadal has not played his best tennis at all in 2021 on the clay swing so far. I don't even think he's played his best tennis yet at the French Open. So it's going to be interesting. And I think Sinner will be drooling at this opportunity to take out Nadal. Sinner is a big mentality player. He literally wants to be a GOAT. He's cut from the same cloth mentally as these big players, I think. And what would be a better way to show and to step into greatness than beating Nadal at the French Open? It's the hardest thing to do in sport, in all of sports. So Sinner is going to be drooling for the opportunity. Nadal is going to be slightly worried. He's already said he's dangerous. He's dangerous, no? A little bit, just a poco. So, yeah, Nadal knows what he's got to do. He's got to play his game, and he can't play too defensive. He's the heavy favorite, obviously, still. Sinner's backhand into Nadal's forehand is the way that we've seen him have success. When he's cracking that cross-court, Nadal has to defend and just reach for it. Those can be your super short balls that Sinner can come and put away. So Sinner's got to play he's got to play the match of his life to win. That's what he has to do. Is it time for him to do that? He's a teenager. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just cannot wait to watch these two matches, Djokovic and Nadal. And then Federer versus Berrettini. I'm not sure if Federer is going to be able to walk to the court against Berrettini. His legs must be so done after this match. They might wheel him to the court in a wheelchair, and then they'll just be out there and see what you can do with your talent. But that was a crazy match tonight for Federer. So I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. But Berrettini, I think, is the favorite in this match, to be honest. With the way he can serve, with the way he can move, and he's already won a title this year on clay. He's just dangerous, and I just think he's got more in it right now than Fed does. But obviously, you never know. Maybe Fed can retire. Maybe he's just blowing out all the cobwebs in his legs, and he can get right back to it. So we'll never know. But I think Berrettini's the favorite there. I do have Djokovic and Nadal coming through their matches, but in the betting odds, Sinner's actually has a better chance to beat Nadal than Musetti does to Djokovic, but those are trash half the time. So I don't know. We'll see. It's the big three versus the Italian challenge. How are they going to fare? What are your predictions? Mine is that at least one of the big three will lose to an Italian player in the fourth round. Let's take a quick look at the other fourth round frenzy matchups. We got Schwartzman versus Struff. I like Struff in that matchup, honestly. We got Zverev versus Nishikori. Nishikori could be tough. That could be an absolute battle, depending on when it's played. I'm taking Zverev, though. Alejandro Davidovich Fokina versus Del Bonis. I'm taking Fokina. I like that kid. He's got serious game. He took out Casper Ruud in an epic, probably match of the year so far. And then Tsitsipas versus Pablo Carreño Busta. I'm taking Tsitsipas all day long. I've never believed in Pablo Carreño Busta's ability to win big matches like this. The only reason he's really ever gotten deep in a slam is because Djokovic bounced the ball off a lion person's throat. So we'll see. But those are my predictions for the fourth round. The tournament's really getting exciting now. I can't wait. Roland Garros is heating up. It's presented by Rally Tennis for the Slice. We're keeping you posted. I want to hear all your predictions. I want to know what you thought of Federer's crazy match tonight. what you think is going to happen going forward. And as always, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you on the next episode of The Slice. Follow us online at The Slice Tennis on Instagram for daily posts. And we'll see you soon.